Hello, guys, and welcome to From the Ashes. Today, I want to comment on a very funny video I found of celebrities complaining about depression. For all of those people who are actually suffering depression, I know it's a serious condition and all of that, but from a Marxist perspective, we don't only have to look to the brain chemistry to find the sources of depression. Most of the time, psychologists or psychiatrists will not be able to properly assess the sources of your depression because they always think it's a brain chemistry issue. But if you're living under capitalism, you have real reasons to be depressed. Real material conditions are destroying your health, your life, your family, and making you suffer, are distancing you from your loved ones. The battle to make it to the end of the month is serious. I myself have been there a lot of the times. I have had situations, economically speaking, that were very, very rough, and even I haven't even suffered that much compared to other people. My suffering is meaningless compared to the real people who are on this night going to bed hungry and watching their kids going to bed hungry or being malnourished, not having enough of a diverse diet and or having a nutrient deficient diet, which is causing them health issues in the long term, or not to be able to focus at school. And it's not only food wise, it's like the type of education you can pay for, the school materials the kid needs, etc. It goes to all the facets of your life. When you're struggling financially, and every worker in the world is, because we are being taken advantage of by capitalism, we are suffering. We really have real reasons to feel bad about stuff and develop depression. It's not like it's all in our head, like most of clinical psychology under capitalism is trying to tell you. There are a few psychologists that will kind of agree that there are societal reasons that are increasing the rates of depression. But today, instead of just focusing on that, I want to focus on a video I saw of celebrities complaining about depression. So let's watch a little bit.
All the time. I have to constantly bring myself out of it. I wake up depressed, but I'm okay, now I know my steps, because you learn from the real. Now I have to go outside and be in the sun for a little bit, or go for a walk, or start the day this way. It's all just programming yourself to trick your brain.
Okay, that previous guy, whoever that guy was, this guy is a millionaire. He's an actor. He's claiming to be depressed. Where rich people are just such phonies. They are so starved for attention. All the celebrities suffer depression. How coincidence? All of them. They're rich and famous, but they're miserable. No, they're not. They're actually very, very happy. They're just addicted to attention. They would say anything to be on the spotlight, to be looked at in a more favorable light. I think 99% of these people are dishonest, exaggerating, and ultra sensitive. They don't have real problems. In fact, the cause of their depression is their extreme selfishness. When you're a rich, famous guy, why wouldn't you be depressed if you're such a lower emotional animal that all you think about is your own personal gratification, or the personal gratification of the people directly around you? Someone like a Mr. Beast type of guy who spends all his money, trying to be God and trying to compensate random people or his friends that have no real material need, and he needs to give them a cut every month or $10,000 every time just to make more money. All these people are playing a game that we, the working class people, are not a part of. And when they complain about this kind of stuff, the reason is they are 100% responsible for their situation. And in fact, their situation is not as bad. They can get the best medical treatment there is, the best conditions. They don't have to worry about any of that. You imagine you're a single parent, male or female, and you have 3 kids and you have no way to feed them, or you just lost your job and you don't know how you're gonna make it the end of the month, or you're an Indian farmer who got forced into a loan to buy your seeds, and now you don't have, and your crops, it didn't go well for you. Basically, all your crops got destroyed by the weather, and now you have to pay that loan, and you have no way to pay it, and then you kill yourself drinking your own pesticide. These are real problems. Most of these rich people have fake problems, have invented problems that are born of their self-obsession, narcissism, and egotistical mindset. They only think of themselves. With all that money, I would live in a nice little tiny house with a normal salary, and I would spend my time doing things that I think are worth investing my time on, like furthering the cause, helping people. And I would spend most of my money probably in organizations that are helping the community at large. But all these people can think of is their own gratification. They're disgusting as human beings.
It will become that way.
I was completely suicidal, didn't want to live anymore. I thought that I was completely alone. I also realized how lucky I was and what a wonderful family, wonderful friends I had, but that didn't matter. I wanted the world to swallow me up, and nothing seemed better to me than death, which is completely insane.
I was in Berlin and I was alone in my hotel, and I remember there was like a window right there.
Okay, this girl is some type of model and actress who is also rich. Everyone here is rich. Everyone here is famous. Jesus, I was watching once a TV report on the Ebola pandemic in Africa, and I saw a list of doctors who had lost their lives trying to help these people, their own fellow human beings, try to save them. And these doctors spend their whole life studying, and then they went there some of them were their own country, but these doctors went there and tried to help these people at the risk of their lives, and they lost their lives doing it. Do you think these doctors felt depression? They probably felt a lot of emotions, but I don't think they had depression. It's a horrible situation that they were in, but it took the best out of them to do that, and they showed us that human beings are truly something to be admired. And these doctors didn't complain about depression or anything. And where are the millions of dollars that their family should have? Where is the recognition that they deserve? But all the attention of the world is on this teenage mentality, spoiled brats that contribute nothing to society. If you're a celebrity, you are worth less than any single worker in the world. Actors, entertainers, they mean nothing. This type of people is what the system uses to take your attention away from what matters. They are clowns used by the system. They are self-indulging. They don't care about anybody but themselves. If any of these people had gone to like an orphanage anywhere in the world and spent all their resources helping these people, they wouldn't be depressed, because depression for these people starts when they get ultra focused on their own petty suffering. And your suffering means nothing. I remember James Baldwin used to say, your own suffering means nothing unless you use it to connect to other people, to understand that other people are suffering, and by recognizing that and focusing on that situation, that is a common situation for all human beings, then your suffering can help you connect to others and help them. And that's the way suffering actually goes away. I'm a Marxist-Leninist, but I remember a Nietzsche quote about depression that used to say people are depressed. No, the best cure for depression is giving someone a real problem, like a disease, a very hard economical situation or material situation. You know, when all your energy is focused on something that's real, all these thoughts and just self-obsession vanishes. You're actually concerned on you have to survive. It's not an ideal situation, but I mean it's what 99% of the world has to go through every month, concentrating on surviving and making it another month, on how you're gonna pay for your child's birthday party, how you're gonna I spent months and months, or even during the pandemic, not being able to eat anything outside of what I had to prepare for myself. Like, I couldn't eat a cheeseburger because I had to think very, very carefully how to spend my money, otherwise I would die. That's how bad it got. Thankfully I'm better now, but it was a very difficult situation for me and my family, and I always thought, and now I'm enjoying a meal out, not a fancy meal, just like a regular restaurant, like $20 per person, and now I can really enjoy that. That's like a luxury to me, to be able one weekend to go eat out. It took me a year to be able to buy a computer, a year of work, saving. And it was not a fancy computer. It's this computer cost me $900 or $999. So, there you go. A whole year or more than a year, I think, to save. Was a year and a half, I think, to save $999.
And I was alone in my hotel, and I remember there was a window right there, and I remember crying because I was thinking about how the way that I was gonna die was I was gonna do it.
This girl, this singer Billie Eilish, her net worth is around $30 million. She got into the industry because her father is in the music industry. There are probably 1 billion people more talented than her at singing, but she happened to have the connections to get her into the music business. It's and she complains about anything. It's the more spoiled you are, the more you have been given things without effort, the easier it becomes to complain. I was thinking of a relative that she worked basic cleaning services, like cleaning buildings, housing, all of her life, was very, very poor, no education at all. She died recently, 4 to 6 months ago, of cancer. She had a long battle with cancer, and she was so poor that she had to go to her to her cancer treatment, where they inject the chemical that will help you fight cancer. They inject it to your body through an IV. And for people who have gone through it, you would know that it's very, very, very painful after, because that chemical it kills you. Actually kills the cancer cells, but it also kills your organism. It's horrible, the amount of pain that you feel. There are people who quit the treatment simply they cannot take the pain. Every sensation feels painful. And she would go to these treatments alone on a bus, and she would have to go back to her home alone on a bus. For anyone who has been through this treatment for cancer, you would know that the pain, the discomfort, the nausea, the dizziness, the danger of having to go back by yourself, and on top of that on a public bus, it's disgusting. It's horrible. And she did that for many years, tried to fight it off, and she did as much as she could, working to her very last breath. They didn't give her a pension or anything. Like, she would go to the government agency to try to explain to them that she had terminal cancer, and they sent her to work, to still work to her very last breath. And when I think about that, and I compare it to this brat, to this spoiled capitalist, selfish, literal clown, complaining about whatever little thing goes bad in her life for attention, I cannot make the connection. Where should I feel compassion for these people? They don't feel compassion for you or your family or the millions of people, billions of people suffering every day. They don't think twice about anyone else's suffering. And I have no compassion for them. If I had a button that I could click on and disappear every single participant of the bourgeois system, I would, and it wouldn't take my sleep away. It would make me sleep like a baby, probably. Although we know from a Marxist perspective that individuals are irrelevant. The focus is not on the individual. Who cares if today is Bill Gates, tomorrow is someone else? The issues with the system, individuals are individually responsible for their disgusting participation in this death system. But at the end of the day, we are not here to seek to kill individuals, because individuals are easily replaceable. What we are here to do is to end the system, to completely end the conditions, the material conditions that allow this system to exist. And I think the biggest emotion I feel like when think about my life is to, one, love for the working people, and two, hate, absolute hate and disgust for capitalism. I just cannot stand this system or this world or the people who go day by day without recognizing this is absolutely inhumane.
We've all experienced loss. We've all experienced great loneliness at times.
I have literally been at the lowest point that a human being could be. I have literally wanted to and attempted to take my own life.
This is rich. This guy is Brad Pitt, right? What is his net worth? $100 million? This guy has been blessed in every single individual department a human being can be given. Like, dude is a movie star. He's not a movie star because of his acting skills. He just has the look of a movie star, of what they look now in a movie star. He was born into the right race, in the right country, with the right genetics. He is not a great actor, in my opinion. So-and-so, like, even the greatest of actors is, in this system, is meaningless. They are used to further a stupid message that makes no sense for anybody. He's not like, at least Marlon Brando as an actor was very, very good, but he also had like a social conscience. Marlon Brando would speak out, and he would admit that, acting is a lot of BS, overpaid people, celebrities, and an industry. They're probably amazing actors, the best actors in history right now, doing acting on the weekends on a little theater while they have a normal job, or maybe in some independent cinema film or something like that. Like, the whole industry around entertainment is disgusting. And then you have Brad Pitt talking about depression. Brad Pitt, the only reason he has to be depressed about is maybe because of the crap person that he is as a human being, having all that money and helping nobody except himself. Like, really helping, like, the responsibility that you have towards society. The more you have, the more it increases. And these people have been given 99.9% of benefits and are returning basically almost nothing back to society. And again, that's what they're depressed, because they're shit human beings with capitalist ethics and values.
Wanted to not be here anymore, and I have millions of followers and I have all the streams, I got whatever. It doesn't solve your problems. Like, it does not make things go away. And if you struggle in any type of way, like, it's only going to amplify it, and it's only going to put a magnifying glass over everything.
No.
You know, the biggest illusion the rich create is to make you think they're not happy. They are they have all the material necessities of happiness, at least. They're happier than the mother that is like work all of her life, or the father who worked all of his life, didn't get a time to spend time with his children, never was able to buy a good birthday present for his children. You know, like I've seen those people, I live with those people, I work with those people. It's not my own particular situation at the moment, but these people I see every day, people who, the other day a lady was telling me her children don't even have desks to sit on at night to study. They have to, like, all of them have to study on one bed. That's how small their house is, that's how little furniture they have. And I try to help as many people as I can with what I have, but it's not enough. And then you get this famous singer, you know, saying she wants to take her own life. Like, the reason she wants to take her own life is because her life is worthless, really. As a person, if all you're doing is this, singing stupid things for stupid people with no meaning, with no reflection of society, and doing nothing to help others, then of course you deserve all the unhappiness and sadness you can get, which is 99% a lie. Most of these people just wake up and do fine and drown their lack of humanity in pleasure and excess. You even have people like Angelina Jolie. I remember a video of Angelina Jolie going to like a refugee camp, and this little refugee girl grabs her hand, and Angelina Jolie yanks her hand away from this little girl. And that's, you know, celebrity behavior 101. They try to appear as kind and compassionate, but they are unable to stand there and look you in the eye and recognize that you have dignity just as much as them, and you have value. They are so self-absorbed. But you know what I think about celebrities? They're less. All the celebrities in the world are worth less than a good mechanic, a good plumber, a good garbage collector, people who actually serve society and do a task that is extremely important. I could live very, very well if all these sport stars, all the celebrities and all the famous singers disappeared. I could not live the way I live if all the people who actually, you know, fix my plumbing or fix your building, or, you know, transport the people disappear, or the people who bake breads, etc. So the working class is actually what makes society run enjoyable and valuable. Celebrities are like meaningless, really.
Because we never had therapists in the Black community.
You know, I was very young when the first time it hit me, and I didn't know what was happening. It feels like you're terribly homesick, but you're home, so there's no way to satiate it. Mm-hmm. I was very young when...
You know, the only thing Kanye West is sad about is that there aren't enough gas chambers anymore. Like, this dude is such an idiot, egotistical, like mentally ill, deranged person. I don't know how anyone can feel compassion about this guy. The only compassion I can feel would be like, somebody get this man a doctor after, you know, we take all of his property and give it to the poor. This guy is like an anti-Semite wacko. I don't know, this guy is crazy, literally. One guy I can empathize with is like Robin Williams. He's part of the bourgeoisie. He's an entertainer. I don't see him involved in anything like of value, in any cause. I think that's part of his depression. And well, it's not only his only case, but a lot of he got like his brain damage through the abuse of drugs, right? Cocaine, it alters your brain chemistry after a point, and your brain cannot produce the necessary chemicals for you to feel normal again. So most of his life, because of the abuse of drugs, is what really altered him and changed his moods forever. Even when he stopped doing drugs, his mood was already always low. So a lot of people who turn to drugs will get affected, but this is not a problem just of celebrities. I mean, drugs are disgusting things, and drug trafficking is a tool of capitalism to make money, and having people controlled and terrorize people through drug cartels, criminals, and prison. But that's just like one caveat I can make. Like, if you took drugs, it's gonna affect your depression. But again, Robin Williams didn't seem overly concerned with society at large. We know he came from a rich family. I mean, the guy was a right guy, funny guy, but I mean, you have a responsibility robbing to society. And what did you spend your money on, man? Like 5 marriages, buying your kids everything they needed, and donating to charity? Charity is garbage. Charity is the tool of capitalism to keep the people begging, to keep the people a little bit happy enough that they won't riot. But charity demeans a person in such a way, because the working class deserve what they work for, and they create all the wealth. They deserve all the wealth. They don't deserve the charity. The charity are the crumbs that fall off the rich man's table. But the working class created the goddamn table and cooked the food and prepared the food and created the wealth. The table, the food, and everything in the world is theirs. It is not you who decide who gets charity. It should be them. And they should have enough income to live a happy, dignified life in the technological and societal standard that their society affords them. So I really have a problem with charity. You know, when Oscar Wilde has a really good passage on charity, where he mentions that the person receiving charity deep down is somewhat resentful of being in the situation, that you can look down on them and think they deserve your charity or they don't deserve your charity. You know, we are human beings. Why should another human being be in the situation to give you a handout? You should be in a situation that your work provides you enough, not having to beg to anybody. And I'm not against helping people, but what I mean is that charity is not the solution to anything. It's alright to help, and help as much as you can, but you must understand the focus, besides helping people, is raising class consciousness so people can free themselves, so people can forever destroy this horrible system. You know what, I'm not gonna look anymore about any of these people. You know, Lady Gaga talking about depression, this guy, like, it's hilarious, man. These people, Angelina Jolie, all these rich people are selfish pigs, unworthy of compassion. They have no ethics, no reflection, no values, self-absorbed, superficial hypocrites, and 99 of their problem is an act. It's just a call for attention. They try to deceive you into thinking they're unhappy, but they're really not. They just want your attention. People who are actually unhappy and have depression are the working class people who every day have reasons, real material reasons to be depressed. That's all for now, guys. Thank you.